So what I'll do today is dig out and sharpen the edge of this circular bed, then line it with rocks if I can find enough rocks at home. I have to get some more. And in the process I will tell you a bit about this bed, and hopefully I will be able to dig up some pictures to show you what it looks like at its best. Let's go. I found enough rock, no problem, but still I need a lot more. I've nicked this from other places, and I'm gonna need more in other places in the garden. But now it's time for the really fun part, playing with rocks. It's like playing with Lego. It's very, very satisfying, especially since you can hardly go wrong. Everything just fits. It feels like it was meant to be, no matter almost how you lay down the stones. You can always change it. So I've done this everywhere instead of buying and installing expensive edging and concrete and stuff, and then you also have to be mindful of the preparation work. But this is just so simple. It's child's play, literally. The one downside, as I've said before, is that it's harder to maintain a clean edge on the lawn once the grass starts to grow. So I will be evaluating this technique this summer. Now I have a consistent look and feel, a kind of a theme that ties the whole garden together, both the front and the back. So I really want this to work, and I have thought about doing a combination actually. You could use, for instance, some kind of steel edging outside of the rock, and then put the rocks on the inside. And the steel edging would just jut out a bit above the surface, and then the rocks will kind of, you can lay them almost resting on top of that. That will give you a sharp, neat edge to run the grass trimmer on. So that's a possibility if I feel I need it. And as I also said before, I really don't like messy edges. I want them clean. I want the grass to look really neat and clean. Otherwise it detracts from the contents of the borders. While you watch me do this, I will show you some pictures and tell you a bit about this bed and how it looked at its best in the last year. And hopefully it will look even better this year. So in the center of this bed is Japanese Quince, or a flowering quince. It belongs to the rose family. It's pretty thorny, but it's got wonderful red flowers, beautiful nuance of red. They bloom pretty early in the spring, and then it actually gets apple-like little fruits in autumn, which are rich in vitamin C and pectin if you dare to eat them. Then surrounding this shrub, I wanted a lot of white. So in the first circle around the shrub, I have lesser Calamint, or Clinopodium nepeta, formerly known as Calamintha nepeta. It's a perennial herb with a wonderful fragrance, and it attracts bees and bumblebees. And it flowers almost the entire season with pale lilac pink blooms. Then staggered around the nepeta, I have a sage, a salvia, Salvia nemorosa, Schneehügel, German name. In English, it's also called Woodland Sage or Snow Hill. Is the literal translation from German, Schneehügel. It's a wonderful compact perennial with abundant white flower spikes from early to late summer. And I was recommended this at my local nursery, and it really held up to its promise. It has flowered almost all last season, all season long. I'm very happy with that. And then another white flower, a really hardy one. It's called Pearly Everlasting in English, or three-veined Pearly Everlasting. Latin is Anaphyllus triplinervis, I think. Swedish woolen eternal flower, something like that. It's a grey-green felted foliage with clusters of small white flower heads. And the plants have prominently veined leaves, and they work as a ground cover, but the flowers are also popular as dried flowers. And as the salvia and the nepeta, this is a really nice, it just gives and gives, this plant. It flowers for many months with nice white flowers, so it complements the other ones really nice. And then, as you have probably already seen from the pictures, I put in a lot of tiarellas, or foam flowers. It's belongs to the saxifrage family. Tiarella actually means little turban, and it refers to the shape of the seed capsules. These as well, they flower forever, and they just keep going, and they look nice the entire time, so I'm very happy with them. And then I thought I'd add in some contrast, so I put in a grass, a Miscanthus sinensis, a Japanese Miscanthus, or silver grass. It's also called eulalia grass or maiden grass, or even elephant grass. And it's originally from East Asia. It's widely grown as an ornamental grass in temperate climates. And as you can see, this picture is taken a bit later on in the season, where the grass really starts to look nice. And hopefully it will look even better this year. So I think that is most of the things that I put in here. I actually also, I'm afraid you couldn't see the picture, the quince in flower. Too bad, but imagine brick red, wonderful, delicate flowers, surrounded by white and light pink. Then I also ringed the whole thing with Crocosmia, Lucifer, red, delicate, lily-like things, exotic looking, but none of those came up. I think I put in 6 or 8 around the very edge of this circular border, but they never showed up. So maybe I'll try again. So it's red in the center, then a lot of white around it, and then some red dots at the edges again, and then some grasses. So, some bonus thoughts on another project. The shed behind this forsythia is going. I'm demolishing it together with my neighbor. And I will replace it with a greenhouse. Just now trying to scope out how much room I need and how I will orient that greenhouse, and how big of a greenhouse I'm going to order. and I will remove most of the current concrete paving. I will remove this honeysuckle. It's been there for at least 50 years, probably a lot longer. I will cut it down now, and I will show you, and I will move it, at least temporarily, to another spot in the garden. I'm not sure if I will keep it. The forsythia has to, if not go, then at least be transplanted 2 meters out to the edge of the border. And according to my local nursery, it is possible, but I will wait until it's flowered. Then I will just check to make sure that it's okay to cut it down after flowering in May, June. If not, I will have to wait until autumn, I guess, but preferably not. I will cut it down almost to the ground, and then I will start digging. It should be doable, I've been informed, even though it doesn't look that way. I'll try at least, and if I succeed, I will transplant it to where this, what is it, a euphorbia, is now, because that will leave a lot of space, enough space for the greenhouse and for a wooden deck below it, and then for a gravel floor surrounding the entire thing. And then outside of the gravel I will keep or remake some of the beds. So wooden deck, then gravel, then borders. The borders will be edged with stone, both on the inside and on the outside. And here behind the U may go eventually. I will let it be for now. I will construct a working area. I will build a wooden frame here, and I will lay big concrete slabs inside the wooden frame, and then I will build a potting table above here, because I don't want to contaminate the gravel with the soil that I will be spilling when I'm working on repotting stuff here. And I need access to the compost area, of course, at least from this side. And maybe I'll have to move this concrete path to align with the edge of the border. Just remove the lawn completely. It's a bit of a sorry strip of lawn anyway now. It's a bit much work for just moving stuff just a meter to the side, but I think that will need to happen. Depends on how large the greenhouse is and how I orient it. So that's the preliminary plan anyway. So I'll go ahead and take down the honeysuckle now. So this is where the old honeysuckle will get a temporary new resting place. I ran out of ericaceous soil. I actually gave it the last that I had to my neighbor that I've been using to feed this rhododendron and all the rhododendrons back there. But I did find a little bag of cow manure, so that's always something. I actually think there was a honeysuckle around this corner somewhere when I was a child. And where it stood, it was facing north behind the shed wall, hardly got any direct sun at all. I'm really manhandling this poor sucker now. But anyway, I think that when it comes to light, at least, I don't think it will mind sitting here. Maybe I should water it in before I put on too much soil. This is really good soil, the best I've seen in the garden so far, without any amendments. I don't know why. Maybe it's because it never gets dried out. I found some nice bulbs while I was digging a hole for the honeysuckle. So I thought I'd put them here on display on the front before it gets swamped by everything else that's planted here. Let's give them some blood meal. I don't have any bone meal now, so blood meal will have to do. The reason I bought blood meal is to scare away the rabbits who chewed away my wonderful ganista on the back. Hopefully an Aquilegia will spring here if I didn't disturb it too much now. So this is the finished result of the replanting of the old honeysuckle. I don't deem it impossible that it survives and even gets going again pretty soon, but I really don't have any idea. But it's just a hunch. Let's see. Maybe it gets too big. But anyway, it's just a temporary thing. I needed to get rid of it. The big project is, first of all, I can't be too sentimental about stuff right now. I've put in so many things in this bed that I will trample and dig over and so forth. I will try to be careful while we remove the shed, and then I will wait a while to see what gets going. At least that's my plan now, if I don't get too I really want to get that greenhouse in place. But if I can wait, if I can be patient, I'll wait and let things get going and then transplant them. Hopefully it will be okay to transplant them in spring, early summer, even though I think that it's not ideal. I will talk to my local nursery about that. Anyway, I'm still waiting for my neighbor because the big project is still to get that shed down. But yeah, that's right. One final thing. I will put the honeysuckle through the shredder, which I actually managed to get started, and also I managed to get the knife out and sharpen it. However, I don't seem to find any knives that would fit, any new knives that would fit, because I would much rather have a new knife. than the old one, which I have sharpened manually. But anyway, it works sort of, kind of, with just the right kind of twigs. So let me show you. There. That's not bad. Homemade mulch. Especially since you know that you're reusing material. Really great. I've discovered that this shredder works best with a... You have to have the right diameter, the right brittleness for it to work reasonably well. So it's it's very small, and the blade isn't very sharp, so it takes a bit of time. The ivy here, I won't be able to get that through the shredder, I'm afraid. So that will go to the dump. But this honeysuckle I will get through eventually. And these clippings I will probably leave to rot down. And here I have pretty much, there's some debris here that needs to go, but then underneath here I have quite a lot of reasonable soil as well. Okay, so that was it for today, I think. We started with the white border here, and then we transplanted an old honeysuckle from behind the forsythia over there. Pretty dark place, but I think that will be okay. We replanted some bulbs that we found, and then we took the shredder for a spin. I think we did something more, I can't remember. Anyway, I'm still waiting for my neighbor to demolish this shed, so I'll be back. Thank you for watching.